What is up, guys? Today we got the Sportsman 450. We're gonna do some little upgrades to it. I know y'all probably seen it before, but we'll give y'all some riding footage of it here in a second. But Keith has went and got EPI clutch kit for it. Comes with some different weights, different springs for the primary and secondary, and then it comes with the helix. So we'll be going over installing that today. Hopefully Keith doesn't mess this up. No, but we're gonna try out, I guess, a few different springs and see how they all do, and tell y'all how each one does. Right now, I think sitting stock, the engagement is like around, what do you say, about 1700?
Yeah, about 1700.
Probably about 1700. So we're gonna go out here in his yard and do a little test run and see how it does stock real quick, and then we'll let y'all know how it improves as we put the new stuff on. So let's go. So just keep in mind, this thing is pretty much a race machine. No. We're just gonna do some takeoffs. Looks like he is trying to do a wheelie. Let's get some takeoffs on this thing and see how it takes off and how it engages.
So note, it really sucks at wheeling. Not getting lucky.
You wanna, after you try that, you wanna do some takeoffs? See how that does?
Yeah.
With a grown man on it, still kind of has trouble doing wheelies in high or low. Not that you need to do wheelies, but that'll just show you how much more torque it has. Well, he's gonna do a launch. What you in, low or high? Or?
I'm in high.
All right, so he's in high. Well, it takes off pretty decently, but you can tell when it takes off the line it's kind of sluggish. So hopefully this kit will help that out some.
So we're at about 22-mile-an-hour stretch. In there.
You're gonna try it in low. About the same in low. Tops out a little faster. What does this thing top out at in low?
In low, I don't know. I don't think I've ever done it. I know in high it was like 56, 57.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go start putting this clutch kit on and we'll see how it does after. Alright, so pretty much all you're going to do to get to your clutch cover is you got to take your floorboard off, your little side panels, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we got nuts on the bottom side of those too.
So hopefully none of y'all need directions on how to do that. It looks pretty straightforward. Just take out all the bolts and the little pop rivets and it should pop right off.
So really strong like me, it'll pop right off of there.
Basically, just take all the screws out of the belt box cover, then you'll pop this inlet and outlet hose off the front and back of it, and then she'll just come right off.
Voila.
Alright, so your primary, your secondary, we're going to take the primary off first. What size is that?
This is a
5/8.
Yes, 5/8.
5/8. So you'll just take that bolt off, and then we'll run that little puller in there and get this off. So basically, you'll just take that screw out of there, or the bolt, and then you'll run this puller. You can get the puller from EPI, but in our case, we had a buddy that had one. And you just ram it in there, and then the clutch will pop off.
Ideally.
Yeah, at least it's supposed to.
And it is.
And then you can slide your belt off. So we got that off now, so we'll take that over to our little work table and install the parts on it. And for how many miles this thing got on it?
That's probably got 1,700 miles on it now.
That's 1,700 miles on the stock belt. Belt don't look too rough.
Not at all. Pretty impressed.
Probably
They ride
wouldn't
it
hurt to replace it before summertime.
pretty hard. But all in all, not upset about it.
Yeah. Everything does look good in there. Looks pretty clean, so it's a good sign. So we'll take this over here and start installing these new parts. Alright, so the first step you're going to want to do is take these bolts out, kind of take them out evenly so it don't blast off of there. This is spring loaded, so be careful. You'll just use a 3/8 and start taking them out.
Also, pay attention where your X is. There's going to be an X on here, an X on the bottom. You got to line those X's back up when you put it back on.
You want to keep those the same. Alright, so you take your cover off, you'll take this spring off, that's your stock spring. We're going to be replacing it with a silver spring. It's a little bit taller, a little bit thicker. So we'll put that on, but first we're going to do these weights. What you'll need on the weights, you're going to take these bolts out. These are going to be Allen head bolts, they're 1/8, or yeah, 1/8?
Yeah.
1/8, and then use a 3/8 for the nut on the other side. And just pop your weight out, and the new weights, I believe they're going to be a little skinnier. We'll check those out here in just a second. But we'll go ahead and get all these out first. Alright, so on your bottom, you got your stock weight, and then on top, you got your aftermarket weight from EPI. A little bit thinner. So, I'm not too intelligent when it comes to clutches, but it looks different. It's going to do different stuff. So we'll get to putting these back in, and then we'll be ready to put the spring back on, and put the cover back on, and slap her back on the old Sportsman. Alright, so got the spring on. We're going to go back on with this. You can do it by yourself. He just did it by himself, but it kind of helps to have another person here to push up on it so you can get all the bolts. Be sure to line those X's up on top and bottom. You'll see it when you put the cover back on, and get all your bolts started good so you don't cross thread them or nothing, and then you want to just evenly tight them down so it don't mess up nothing.
I was told that it's not real hard to break these, so
Yeah,
make sure you do. Just kind of take your time. I mean, it can't hurt to go slower.
We are using an impact. You can use it with a wrench, it'll probably be a little safer, but if you know what you're doing with the impact, it'll be a little quicker for you. I ain't got it to be extremely tight or anything. don't want to put any ugga-duggas on it. And that's her.
She is ready.
So we'll take it on over to the Sportsman and put this back on. See how she does. And then going back on with it, you just slide it back on there. And you'll run your nut back on there and it'll suck it back on there. So, and then we'll get started on the secondary. Now, when taking the secondary off, you'll just take that bolt out and you should just be able to pull it off by hand. Sometimes you need a puller, sometimes you don't. But in this case, it should just come right off. When you pull the secondary off, make sure that you watch for these little shims. One of ours did fall off, so just make sure you put them back on. What these shims do is it's got your clutch where it's in line with each other, so be sure to put that back on there if it falls off. Alright, so basically to get the helix off, you might can do it yourself, but better to have two people. You push down on the helix, it'll go in, it'll be in there like that with a spring up under it. You push down on it and you pop that snap ring off. It'll just pop up and you'll take it off. So here's the two helixes. There's a stock one, and there's EPI's. Looks a lot better. It looks a tad bit taller. I'm not totally sure what helixes do, but I have to do some more research on that. But yeah. And then here are the springs. This black one was a stock one, and the orange one is the one we're gonna go with. It's a little bit taller. I'm guessing that helps it bite the belt a little harder. We're gonna get all this stuff back together and we'll tell you how this one went on. We're not too totally sure, so we gotta read on the directions, but we're gonna put that in and then we'll get back with y'all. Alright, so we got it on there. A little bit of confusion, but we finally figured it out. Now, when you're sliding this back on, you just can't get it to go down the splines. There is this little groove that don't have a spline on it. I don't know if y'all can see that on there, but it's right there. You gotta line it up with the splines on your actual clutch. So then after that, we did that, we stuck it down on there, and you'll have a little washer that goes up under your snap ring. You'll have to beat the little tabs on it flat, and then we pushed it down, put the washer on, and then we put the snap ring on. But before you do that, it says in the directions that you're supposed to turn it like a third of a turn counterclockwise. So you'll have to look on your directions if you're doing this yourself and get that part down pat. But we did that, so we were ready to put this thing back together. Alright, so the easiest way we found to do it is just to put the secondary on and then slip the belt over it. You can kind of just turn it and it'll pop on there. We're going to put these covers back on and then do a little rip with it, see how different it is. Alright, so we're not going to put all the plastics on yet. We're going to go out there and test it out real quick, because just to make sure everything's right. So hop on that thing and give her a rip. Alright, we're going to try this thing out. So what did you say it was stalling up to before it takes off now?
Low is about 23. Yeah. 2300.
I was about 23 too.
Yeah.
So about 2300 on takeoff. Let's see what it does. What are you in, low or high?
This is low.
So yeah, it about put him on his back rack. So it's doing a lot better in low. That's awesome what a clutch kit will do. Definitely is blasting off the line a lot harder.
You can see a huge
low gear is definitely a beast. You want to run it in high real quick.
Yeah. High.
So it seems really a lot more responsive. He's running.
It made a difference in high too. The only thing about high is it doesn't have that low end torque in high gear.
Yeah.
Maybe almost less than what it did. I have another spring over there and I may try it out eventually, but it made a tremendous difference still. You can feel in high and low.
Okay, if I ride it?
Going low gear.
So it's been a minute since I've rode this thing, but high gear seems to do pretty good. Low gear, you can't just hold into the throttle or you're gonna sit
Right.
on the back rack. Yeah, that definitely changed a lot. That's pretty impressive.
I think it's gonna make a big difference. I would like to put it up against a 570 and see what the difference is.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember riding a 570. I think it was a 2018, maybe 19, I can't remember, but I remember riding it. It felt like that in low. Like this one definitely pops up easier than the 570. So it's pretty impressive.
Just so happens we know where a 570 is, so that may come pretty soon.
Yeah. I approve. I like it. EPI done a good job with that clutch kit. So we might go test out some more springs another time, maybe when we get the 570 out here with us playing around. But other than that, we'll see y'all guys later. Hope y'all like this video. Leave a like and a comment if y'all don't mind. We'll see y'all later.